All right, this is the second half of corrections for 1.4. So 1.4 for Algebra 1, we're going to do number 8. All right. Number 8, I'm going to change the Q to an X. I had a conversation with a student yesterday. The variable doesn't matter what you call it, Q, X, Z, P, whatever. So just because it's easier for me to write, I'm going to do 4X plus 9. So the absolute value of 4x plus 9 equals the absolute value of 2x minus 1. All right. Let me make a brief statement that if these absolute values are throwing you off, that's okay, because we will go into more depth in absolute values later. So I'm more concerned with 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 than I am with 1.4. All right. So what we have is we have an absolute value on one side and we have an absolute value on the other side. So what we need to do is, we're already at that stage, so we're going to turn this into two different equations, our positive and our negative equation. But this is where it's kind of cruxy. We have 4x plus 9 equals 2x minus 1. And then for our second equation, we have 4x plus 9 equals negative 2x minus 1. So if you can see those two equations, there are two equations. And this is the thing to take note, is that this negative is applied to this whole parentheses. The negative is applied to the whole parentheses. So what does that mean I have to do with that negative? Anyone? You don't need to be clicking around on your computers right now. There's one screen. You should be writing in your notebooks. Zach, what do I need to do with this negative? If I have the negative up against the parentheses, what do I need to do with that negative? Nice. Perfect. Distribute that negative through. So I guess since we already did the distribute, I'm going to start on this side. So I have 4x plus 9 equals negative times positive 2x is negative 2x. Negative times a negative is a positive 1. So I get negative 2x plus 1. So I'm going to finish with this one. Oops. Supposed to be a different color. So what's my first step here, Canyon? Okay, plus 2q plus 2q. So I get 6q plus 9 equals 1. What's my next step, Zach? Nice. Subtract 9 on both sides. So I got 6x equals minus 8. All right, what's my last step for this one? What's my last step? Nice. Divide 6 on both sides. So what that gives me is x equals negative 8 over 6. Oh, that's a bad 6. X equals negative 8 over 6. So there's your answer. And if you want to simplify it, both of those are divisible by 2. So I would get negative 4 thirds. Negative 4 thirds. All right, let's go over to this one. Let's do this one. So this one should be easier. I'm just going to roll through it. Minus 9 on both sides. So I get 4x equals 2x minus 10. Next step, I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. So I get 2x equals negative 10. And my next step is to divide by 2 on both sides. So I get x equals negative 5. So there's my two answers. X equals negative 5 and x equals negative 4/3. X equals negative 5 and x equals negative 4/3. All right, any questions on that? Okay. So